And then record here. All right. So, welcome to the grind. I'm your host, Mike, and I am honored to have a special guest. Her name is Christina Mohamed. However you say the last name. So, how do you say the last name, Christina?
Moldenhauer.
Yeah, just like it's spelled. All right. So before I unleash her on you all, couple things. Top golf events. You're obviously not at our Top Golf Fishers, Indiana, which is Indianapolis event, which is occurring as we speak. So right now we got a bunch of agents there, a bunch of the office staff is there. We have three more events for this year. June 2nd, we have Schaumburg, Illinois, which is Chicago, darn it, because that's where I grew up. Grew up in Wheeling, if you didn't know that, but it's a couple towns over from Schaumburg. But I say I'm from Chicago because nobody knows what Wheeling, Illinois is. But I'll be at that one. We have Michigan, which is basically Detroit. Randy and Aaron will be at that one. And then Aaron and I will be at the Westchester, Ohio, which I believe is Cincinnati. We'll be at that one. And that'll wrap up the year for Top Golf. So you got three more chances to meet your local reps, to talk to other agents, to see ourselves live, and hopefully we'll see you there. Now, just a heads up, Humana is open for business. That's right. They've been open, but now their contracting is open. So if you've been looking to contract with Humana or maybe it lapsed or something happened, we can help take care of you. In the post email, there will be a link where you can say, hey, I make sure I need Humana or Aetna or Devoted, which we think will be the three big players this upcoming AEP. Again, that's going to be Devoted. They've got big expansion. Aetna is regrouped and are going to be powerful this AEP, and then Humana obviously open because they were locked for any contracts up to 2 days ago, a couple days ago, and it's only until July 15th. So for 60 days, they're open. Excuse me, if we could help you, let us know. But without further ado, who is this weird woman on the screen? Well, that's Christina M. She heads her ACA department. She helps their key accounts. She is all around an awesome person. There is her email address because we were like, hey, you know what we love? Long email addresses. So there's her email address. But I'm going to let her take it over. You just yell at me when to change slides. We didn't even talk about that. I apologize. But just tell me when to change slides. And the floor is yours, Christina.
Thank you, Mike. And you're right, it is the longest email ever.
Mhm.
It's easier for me just to email you first so you can just save it to your to your favorites. So hi, I'm Christina Moldenhauer. I actually live in Springfield, Missouri, just a couple hours away from Mike. And I live here with my husband of 11 years, our 6-year-old son, and our three chickens. I had actually started the, I figured you'd like that, Mike. I started back in 2008, actually selling indemnity plans and major medical. Eventually recruited by Humana, where, of course, they focused on Medicare Advantage, PDP plans, but we also had that huge focus on cross-selling. So we did Humana 1, which eventually turned into ACA. And then so we sold the ACA for a while until they ended up pulling out. But I was an independent career agent with them for about 7 years and selling a lot of our other products. We really focused on like annuities and hips and just everything like that to really help bulk in our books, because even back then we knew changes could happen. We needed to diversify our book of business, and so big focus on that. And yeah, when I think we all eventually make our way to the FMO world, and when this position came available, it was a no-brainer for me. I loved working with Gordon Marketing, and I'm so excited to be part of their team. I've been here for about a month and a half now. Thanks,
Hmm.
Mike.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Next slide, please.
Absolutely. Hold on. I'm getting there. See what you did? You made me do this. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
So much going on. So I really wanted to talk today more about what the changes are going to be for the upcoming year. And then we can do, other ones of these where we focus on, plan types and everything like that. But I really wanted to point out the changes, which I think are opportunities, not necessarily, anything bad happening. So a big change is that the if the premium tax credit does not get extended, we will see an increase again in anyone over that 250% poverty level. So the ACA may not be the best option for them. The great thing is there's so many other options available now. I mean, there's short-term medical, off exchange plans. We're really kind of focusing on catastrophic plans now too, and then adding some indemnity plans in there to help cover those gaps. So those are going to be where your members are going to really need your help, because they're not just going to want to go on healthcare.gov, sign up for something, that's it. They're really going to need your guidance to make sure they're picking what's right for them. There's also, if they have a small business, even if it's just a family owned business, maybe ICRA is going to be a better option for them, or small group like MIWA if that's available in their state. So they're going to have more options than ever right now. Next slide, please.
So
Oh, go ahead.
didn't
Yeah, absolutely.
didn't they have a big increase last year on their premiums?
It wasn't as big as because it did get extended a little bit. So it wasn't as
Okay.
big as we thought. But if they don't extend it again this year, it's going to be a pretty big increase in premiums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But it was increasing, you're correct. Another big change is going to be a shortened enrollment period. So it is going to be November 1st through December 15th now, with the January 1st effective date. You know, for all of you that sell Medicare Advantage as well, I know that's really going to be a hindrance. So I would actually start preparing now, maybe even have meetings with your members to see where they're what they're looking for. You know, start that plan now so you're not going to be scrambling to try to fit everybody in such a short amount of time.
Now the nice thing though, looking at this is that typically when we look at AEP, and this is for all the agents, and I'm sure you've had the same thing, is the first 2 weeks are super busy because you got your early people like, hey, I just want to get this done out of the way. I want to enjoy Halloween, Thanksgiving, prepare for the holidays, get it done out of the way. So then typically in November we see a lull, which will allow you to take care of your ACA clients. And then December 1st to the 7th is all your people going, oh, I forgot to change plans. Now I got to rush and do it. And then you'll have another week with your ACA people that are doing the same boat going, oh, I forgot to change plans. And so you have about 2 weeks of pure chaos in December.
That's a great way of looking at it,
Yeah,
Mike.
thanks. Yeah. And that's why we appreciate when alcohol companies sell the free cups or glasses with the alcohol, because that's why they do it, because of ACA and Medicare. I don't know if you knew that. That's the whole reason why. Not really, but
Didn't
it's
know
just a nice
that,
bonus. Yeah.
but it makes sense.
All right, what else you got for us, Christina?
Some other changes in if you sell Medicare Advantage, you're already used to this. I mean, it's just kind of going by the Medicare Advantage rules and regulations. You know, it's just kind of tightening things up, making sure that people are being compliant, putting members on the right plans, which is not only helping them, but also helping the carriers so they can keep lower premiums as well. So I don't see this as a bad thing. Just going to be what you were doing in the Medicare world, now you're going to be doing in the ACA world.
Are you seeing I've seen the ACA, excuse me, the Medicare world, we're seeing plans exit. Are you seeing the same thing? I might be jumping the gun here. I
You
apologize,
are.
but
Yeah,
are you
that
okay?
might be the
Never mind.
next
I'm gonna
slide.
I'm gonna be quiet and let you do your thing. So
That's a great
sorry.
call out though. But yeah, I mean, the ones that don't want to comply or they can't, then I mean, we're gonna see the ones that can make it and do better.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. And speaking
There
of
it
what I was talking
is.
about, sorry. There we
No
go.
problem. So market reductions, and we may see more of these as it gets a little closer, but right now Cigna is exiting ACA. I think they're kind of going to go back to focusing what they know best, and that's group insurance. So they're going to be exiting 11 states. So that's going to be around 369,000 members. And Baylor and Scott are exiting ACA as well, which only impacts Texas. The biggest impact that Cigna has is also Texas. So if you're selling in that state, you have a lot of opportunity. A lot of those folks may not have an agent, they just signed up online. So I would look at this more of an opportunity rather than a distraction, honestly. Let the
Yeah.
big players that know what they're doing come in, pick up that business, hopefully under you, and do things right. Make it as enjoyable for the members as possible.
Okay. Exactly. So, what kind of opportunity we got? What are we looking at here?
I mean, it's going to be an amazing opportunity now, is really how we're looking at it because there's going to be less options for your members on the ACA side, but there's going to be more opportunities for them in short-term medical, in off-exchange plans. Catastrophic plans are becoming more prevalent now. So I think that's when they're going to need agents the most. How do they bundle plans to make the most sense for them? They're not going to know, hey, I need this catastrophic plan and a hospital indemnity plan to cover me for, at that $10,000 deductible. They're really going to rely on agents to help guide them in the right direction.
Yeah, and I will say I think you're going to see a lot more crossover because typically hostile indemnity was your MA pair, Medicare Advantage. Well, I think you're going to see a lot more ACA people gravitate to it. And if you haven't priced a hostile indemnity plan for like a 50-year-old, it is dirt cheap. Like you can get a decent hostile indemnity plan for like $15 a month. Now, it won't eliminate like it does on a Medicare Advantage plan the entire hospitalization cost, but we've ran scenarios in the past where it could cut in half. So I'm like, when you go to the hospital, you want to spend, $8,000 or $4,000, or even if it takes a couple thousand off, it's better than paying the bill 100%. So just something to really consider. Now, before anyone asks, I think the only plan I've seen out there that goes below 65 to any degree is Wellaby because they go 60 to 79 guaranteed issue. So if you have a 50-year-old, they're going to obviously have to pass some underwriting, but the underwriting is very, very, very lax on a lot of these hit plans. So something to consider and something to maybe start offering to your underage clients is that option, especially since it's going to be so inexpensive for them to pick up.
I agree.
Now, we got some comments before going further. Do you want to tackle these now or later in the chats? I know.
I can tackle the ones that I can tackle.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I'll let you. Do you want, do you have it up open?
I do. So it's
Okay,
just
good.
chat. There's not anything in the Q&A.
Yeah, nothing in the Q&A yet. We
Okay.
like to chat here.
ACA plans in New Jersey and New York. Actually, it's limited to what New York doesn't seem to have much at all, honestly. I think they have different rules, though, if I remember correct.
Yeah, New York's just an odd state because you have to be domiciled to do business there. So
Mhm.
it's a,
It is. It's difficult. Even when I was
mm,
in the trucking business for a short time, nobody could do business in New York.
huh. They're
Yeah.
just a joy to work with.
Yeah. Let me look up the plans on that just to see what's available. I know I
Yeah.
just actually made a spreadsheet. So if you don't mind, Mike, maybe
Oh.
read me the next question while I pull up my spreadsheet.
Yeah. So next question. This is what the initial AC enrollment. This was what was the initial AC enrollment? Yeah, back in the day, Tamala, I hope I said that right. Yeah, back in the day, enrollment periods will change. I remember the enrollment period for Medicare being November 15th to December 31st. So, and that was a big change for a lot of people when that hit because everyone thought they had till the end of the year and then it was December 7th. So I think as they move through enrollment periods and look at the patterns, they adjust accordingly. They have to know that ACA and Medicare overlap, which doesn't make it easy because I don't think I want to say you've got the left hand in the government, the right hand in government. They don't know what they're doing. So CMS controls both, but they're different divisions as far as I know. So I think that's why we see a lot of lack of coordination there on that.
Yeah. Okay, so I have it up. So AmeriHealth, yeah. So AmeriHealth is in New Jersey.
Okay.
Then we have Ambetter in New Jersey. Not seeing anything in New York right now. Let's see here. Anthem is in New York. So there's one for New York. Then we've got UHC actually in New Jersey and New York.
Okay. Good. So that spreadsheet, is that this yours or
I
can
can
you
send it out. I just put
sweet.
it together from Kaizen and
Okay.
HQ. So.
So
Yeah,
yeah, if you want to send that to me, I'll send that out to everybody.
absolutely.
And now that Christina has officially registered, sucker, to this, that she will see the post email as well. Um, and yes, and this will be recorded. So I did remember to hit record this week, and I'm using the AI note taker as well. So you get the summary of it, and you'll get the recording, which we post on the YouTube. So,
Now, I did
uh,
see somebody ask about CareSource too, which
mhm.
will be on that spreadsheet, but they are exiting Indiana is the only one
Okay.
that they're exiting for 27. And then almost every carrier is in Texas just because it's an easy state to be in with a really large population. So there's almost any carrier you can expect to be in Texas.
Yeah, and that's a good litmus test to see how well the DOI, Department of Insurance, plays with insurance companies, is how many plans are there. So if you see very limited plans like New York, New Jersey, I know New Mexico is a hard state to do business in, it has been over the past couple of years, as opposed to Texas, that's like, come on in, just bring your horse and a gun and you can do business here. So no offense to Texas people, of course, but I just assume that's what it's like there. All right. So, let me see here. Oh yeah. So that's it. So if you're not, here's the thing. And I think Christina will agree on this. If you're doing Medicare, it just makes sense to have ACA in your back pocket because how many times have you been talking to a client who's turning 65, 66, 67, and their spouse is 62? And it's like, well, I could either keep on working, stay on group until he or she gets to 65 and goes on Medicare as well, but I really want to retire. So what options do we have? And I've been in that scenario lots of times. Your Medicare appointment turns into a Medicare and underage appointment. And if you're like, I need to do that, but don't know how, the one that's below, at least she's below me on my screen, Christina, she's the one that say, hey, you could email her and say, hey, here's what I got. What say you? And I know she'd love to help you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and with the certification being at no cost and our preferred platform, Health Sherpa, no cost, it only makes sense, honestly.
Yeah, and Jason, he even goes to that point, says, I don't plan on going after ACA, but I think having the options with Physicians Mutual and UHC, yeah, and that's the thing is we're seeing a big push, like Christina said, to the ancillary market. I know Allstate has a new short-term care plan, and some states let those short-term care plans go 3 years. So if you got that 62-year-old it's like, hey, let's put you in a short-term care plan for the next 3 years. The plan will stop in 3 years, but then your Medicare will pick up. So you could just go right into Medicare and keep this Allstate plan for the next 3 years. Of course, depending on the state you're in. Different states have different rules. So I don't know the rules. So before you say what states do 3 years, I don't
I
know. The good ones. So if you don't
we
sell
have
them,
that
pick them up.
too. We can send out if you'd like, Mike. Allstate actually gave a spreadsheet to me of the states
Oh,
on their rules, like who does 1 year, who does 3 years, and all of that. So,
yeah, that'd be great.
yeah,
If you could just send me your hard drive, I greatly
sure.
appreciate it.
Might as
So,
well.
do we get pictures of your son?
Aw, if you want them,
All right,
I
we
have like
expect him holding the
1,000.
sheets. There you go. So,
That's
yes, I was go ahead. Sorry,
I would say that's almost all I have in my phone is pictures of my son. So
that's fair. Yes, other Christina in the chat. Yes, Carasaurus is leaving Indiana. So I believe if you leave a state, you have to at least provide insurance at the end of the year, and then you could say adios. So now, one thing here's an interesting concept I want to float across here. I was talking to Jamie's Sarno at AmeriLife, and he pointed out to me that if you're looking for some help, and this is more senior side, but something to think about, the hospital indemnity for Mutual of Omaha has a lot of bells and whistles in it. So I think if you have premiums going up and there's no short-term medical, they're going to have to go ACA. But you could do a very bare bones plan and provide a hospital indemnity or some other type of coverage along with it. So you're going to have to start pairing coverage. It's no longer one size fits most. It's going to be, hey, go on. Is it still bronze plans? Is that what they still are?
yes, they have all so the bronze, silver, platinum, gold, or silver, gold, platinum, and then they have catastrophic plans as well.
Okay. So yeah, doing one of those base plans on the lower tier and then pairing it with a secondary plan is going to be the play in the next upcoming years. So
I
yeah,
think so. If they don't qualify for, the short-term or like the short-term medical plan, maybe just put them on a catastrophic plan. And
mhm.
then with the hospital indemnities having a lot less health questions, maybe that's something that you look at instead.
Yeah, and that's of course a very difficult thing is if underwriting becomes a concern even for hostile indemnity because a lot of plans only look back a year. In the past year, if anything crazy happened, no, great, you're good to go. I know that's for Wellaby. I don't know the underwriting for Mutual of Omaha off the top of my head, but there's something to think about. I know Liberty Bankers, they have a hostile indemnity plan that you could do the whole family. So a lot of plans are individual, where um, Liberty Bankers, you could do individual spouse, individual children, and or a whole family. I think it insures up to like 5 kids. So there are options out there, and if you do come in a situation, just let us know. I mean, don't sit there and prepare for everything because you may not have it. But if you do run into situations, call us at Gordon Marketing. We could definitely give you some options for your clients.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I do
Oh
see
my
the
gosh.
comment about the catastrophic plans being expensive.
Yeah.
They were not a huge focus for 26 because they are becoming more of a focus for 27 since the premium tax credit has not been renewed basically or extended. They're really going to start focusing more on those catastrophic plans, making them affordable, giving people another option. So we should see a reduction in premium for the year 27 in those, at least with my conversations with the carriers.
Yeah. And that's, and I'm sure a lot of people that, you know, you get into all these conversations about well, why it's so expensive, what's going on. And, I'm all for, I think it's crazy that you have to work to have insurance that ties together, but, we can't fix that today. So, the best you could do is start being creative with the packaging. And that's what we're basically exploring. We're seeing a lot of conversations over the past 6 months where it's been, okay, the ACA is not working like it should. So what can insurance companies do? They're coming out with these short-term care plans, hospital indemnity plans. Even, if their concerns are heart attack or stroke or something like that, you could, depending on the client need, just start supplementing that coverage in some capacity. And we're seeing a lot more
Yes.
conversation around that.
Yeah, and I just had a conversation with Ambetter about their ICRA products, and their off exchange does not have underwriting just like their on exchange. I mean, that's huge. And that could be something, that we'll see more in the future as well.
Yeah. And don't forget, we have an election in 2 years. So who knows what's going to happen? So, we got 27, 28. And that's the thing is, unfortunately, Medicare and ACA are all pretty much dictated by the government. So who knows? So I'm guessing next year will be a little better with the catastrophic plans. We'll have more options for the secondary market, i.e., ancillary products, to help cover the needs of your clients. I would say run some scenarios. If you want help with that, maybe next week we'll do some examples. We'll put them together. 45-year-old, off exchange. What does that? Because they make too much money. What does that look like? And if Christina, it would be gracious enough to give me some examples of that. We could definitely show you because I know when I was at Wellaby and Liberty Bankers, we were running scenarios like that all the time, and showing that you could really pad a hostile indemnity plan, add a lot of coverage to it, and it's not a lot of premium because again, it's focused for the 65 plus market. So when you're 50, it's like half the cost. Still a premium, but it's not going to be $200. It might be for $50, they could cut a lot of their expenses in half. So just something to think about. If you haven't looked at that road, I would say definitely play with some quotes and just start messing around and see what that looks like.
I
Because I
agree.
think a lot of your clients will be really they may not listen to it a couple years ago, but I think they'll be much more open to those suggestions over this coming enrollment period. All right. Any more questions, comments, concerns, threats, or promises? Let me know. We got our phone number here. Just as a reminder for the Medicare side, if you haven't seen, Humana's open for contracting, so watch your email. If you don't get the emails, let me know. My email address is far shorter than Christina's. You don't have to use your whole keyboard, which is nice. It is mgatorna at gordonmarketing.com. So there it is. If you don't get it by Thursday, let me know. Happy to send it out. I'll beat up Christina for those spreadsheets and those resources. We'll send those out to you about the state avail. What were we doing? State availability and what else?
And then the short-term medical year,
That's right.
state-based.
Yeah, and that's good to know and have the conversation with the clients about. So, and that's the thing, it opens up a new market for you. If you start doing ACA, if you don't do a lot of enrollment, it puts you in front of more people. So, I know a lot of agents do the 6 months out or 3 months out to Medicare, but if you can go a little further out and start talking about short-term care plans, because a lot of people don't want to work till they're 100 years old, like I'm going to do. So, they may want to retire early. And now you got some options. Also, you get your name out there a little, you get your name out there sooner. So familiarity equals trust, trust equals sales. The more they see your name, the more they're going to trust your name. And when they start turning 65, even if they don't use you at 62, 63, 64, they know your name, they know you're still in the market. It's a great way to get ahead of a lot of your competition. So we're seeing a lot more agents do that as well. So, oh, Julianne, I have an appointment. Take care. Hope it goes well. So, any other questions? And then if you have questions about Medicare, if you have questions about hospital indemnity, if you have questions about life in general, I can't help, but Christina's much smarter than me. So, yes, this was recorded. Oh, look at that. Deb's at Top Golf and on the grind. So, tell Robin and Aaron we say hi because they're both there. Aaron's actually my counterpart at Gordon Marketing. So you put us together, we equal one quarter of a brain. But yeah, so she's presenting because I can't be there because I'm going to graduation tonight. Yeah, so this is being recorded. In fact, I'm going to hit stop record here real quick.